have to do 4 whole flights. What is this? We had 2 passengers that were on the wrong flight. They got on my flight by accident. I've been talking for so long, but I've got another story to tell you. Quickly. So let's take this home. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new flight attendant vlog. It is 5:55. My sign-on isn't until 6:45, so I'm 50 minutes ahead of time, which is absolutely perfect. I just realized that I left my SD card in my laptop because I remember I was taking footage out from my last trip, putting it on my laptop, and I just never put my SD card back. So we are gonna phone vlog for this trip. I have not done this in a while, but hopefully it's good enough for this vlog. I'm wearing my little airplane necklace today. You won't actually be able to see it because I'm gonna put my scarf on over it. But good morning, guys. Hi, if it's your first time here, I'm Andy. I'm a South African flight attendant in the charter industry. I'm about to go on a 2-day trip. I literally leave today, come back tomorrow. I'm not too sure where all we're flying to right now, but I know that we're gonna do a 4-leg and we're gonna end up in Harare for the night, and then tomorrow we come back and end up back in Joburg. But I guess I'll give you guys an update when I get on the plane. But yeah, since I've got 50 minutes, I'm gonna stop at Mug and Bean, get myself a coffee and like maybe a croissant, because all I packed was a little tub of blueberries and a bacon and chicken like wrap thing that I got from the store yesterday. And I think I just want something else for like breakfast, and I can save my wrap for lunch. But let me stop talking, let me go inside, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Behind schedule. We were supposed to take off at 8:15. It is 8:24 right now. We at first our plane had to be tugged over from the hangar where it spent the night, but the gate that separates the hangar from like the runway and coming onto the airport side had an issue, so they had to fix that before they could bring the airplane over. But it came, it wasn't too much of a delay. We've done our checks and everything, and we're ready for boarding. However, we're expecting 28 passengers, and I think only 10 of them are at the boarding gate. So we need to wait for the other 18 to like make their way over or finish checking in or whatever the case is. I'm not too sure what the problem is, but I think we're gonna wait maybe another 10 minutes because I don't think we can delay the flight forever, you know. I just made my pilot's coffee, I've done my pre-flight checks, and I had to like make sure I check everything properly, because the other day I actually made a mistake. When I was at the airline, I used to check, you used to have your own zone of responsibility and you would check your equipment there in that area, but you didn't have to write anything down. Whereas here, it's only me on the plane, so the entire cabin is my area of responsibility. And we have like a flight report that we have to fill in with expiry dates for our equipment, because like the halo needs to be checked every however many years, and the oxygen and all that stuff, just to make sure things haven't reached expiry. And so the other day when I was doing my checks, I checked everything, but I was so used to writing the old date of something that had been renewed that I just, out of habit, just wrote the old date. And my manager picked it up. She's got eagle eyes, that woman, she's amazing. So she picked it up, and then today I was like, okay, let me just double check and really take my time writing everything and be like intentional when I write all my dates and things like that, just so that I don't make another mistake like that, because it's honestly embarrassing. Oh, also, sorry guys, I have already put my scarf back on and I'm too lazy to take it off again. To let you know, I finally know where we're going. So we're heading from Joburg to Harare today, and then when we get to Harare we will go to Victoria Falls, have an hour on the ground in Victoria Falls, and then come back to Johannesburg, and then from Johannesburg go back to Harare, and we'll spend the night in Harare. So that's our 4-leg. Passengers are here. I barely remember the last time I was in Vic Falls. Oh my gosh. Actually, just the fact that I'm doing a 4 leg today is still beyond me. I got so spoiled and so used to doing 1 legs, 2 legs, and now it's like, oh my gosh, it's a full work day. I have to do 4 whole flights. What is this? Oh, I forgot to update you guys though. Coming from Harare to Vic Falls, we had 33 passengers. They were all super chill, nothing to report. Alright, we just landed in Joburg. We brought 34 passengers here. There was a couple things that happened, but I'll tell you guys about those whenever I get home. I did write them down on a serviette so that I don't forget. But my body is like feeling tired. It's like, I'm sure we should be done with our day now. Like, why are we still operating another flight? What is this? But it's okay. At least it's going to be a busy flight. We're expecting 37 passengers going back to Harare. That'll be the last leg. We've been making up time all day, so we actually landed a bit early. We've got about 10 minutes before they're going to start bringing our passengers. So I get to catch my breath a little bit. But yeah, one more flight. Flight number 4 out of 4. There was a gentleman that asked to take a photo of me because he was so impressed with my service, which was so nice. And he showed me a picture of this other crew member who I also know because that crew member flies for the airline that we're operating for right now. And I've met him and he's lovely, so personable. And this gentleman, this passenger, was saying like, wow, you guys do such a great job. Like, he did such a good job and you did such a good job, and next time I fly with him I'm gonna show him your photo and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, he's gonna tell you he knows me. It's gonna be so fun. Bye. We're braaiing outside, but I'm having popcorn for a snack in the meantime. Literally. Good morning, you guys. It's Saturday now. I just laid my edges. How nice is my first officer? He made me some coffee so that I can feel a little bit more human, at least. The coffee that they have here in our unit is decaf, which is great if I want to have a coffee in the evening or late at night, but it's not the greatest when I need to try to wake up first thing in the morning. Yeah, I feel like adding milk to my coffee this morning. We have a 10 a.m. pickup and we are doing a 3 leg this morning, and it's 8:45 right now. Okay. So I just came downstairs for a coffee. I've been packing up and everything this morning, and now I'm gonna have my coffee while I do my makeup and get ready properly. We had a small braai because we had lamb chops from Joburg and some bors, so we decided to braai that. My first officer made pap, I made some spicy tomato relish, and the 3 of us had a nice dinner. The other captain from the other set of crew came to join us because he had brought a steak with him and he wanted to braai that, so he hung out with us for about an hour just to braai his steak and go to bed because he had, I think, a 5 a.m. pickup this morning. I don't know. Oh yes. Anyway, good morning. We're already in Joburg. So when we were in Harare, everything just moved really, really quickly and passengers came very quickly. And we had 36 passengers on board. There was a very cute old lady right here in this last seat. She just kept me so entertained. I did have a gentleman who decided he was going to bring his own beer on board, although I didn't see him carrying it on board. I think it was in his bag or something. I think while I was doing demo or something, he must have taken it out, cracked it open, taken a sip. And then when I was securing the cabin, I was like, absolutely not. You are not allowed to bring your own alcohol on board and then think that you can drink it. And he was like, oh no, but like, it's gonna be so warm by the time we land, blah blah blah. And I was like, that's not my problem, sir. Like, you're not supposed to drink your own alcohol on board. And he goes, but you're gonna serve me alcohol, right? And I'm like, no, we don't serve alcohol. We serve tea, coffee, water, juice, snack boxes. And he was like, no man, that's ridiculous. Now it goes to waste. I got it in the lounge, blah blah blah. I was like, you should have finished it in the lounge. Should have finished it in the lounge. Honestly, there's not a single airline, at least not in South Africa, that I know of, that would let you bring your own alcohol and drink it on board. Like, you can bring alcohol on board if it's like duty free, as long as you don't consume it. That was interesting to say the least, but he was fine, honestly. Like, the spirits were high all throughout the entire flight, so he was perfectly fine. He was joking around with me and stuff. I did confiscate his beer, like I said. It was a Zambezi, which is like a really popular Zimbabwean beer. A lot of people like it, but you just can't drink it on my flight. Like, I will legit lose my job if I let you have a beer that you brought on board on my plane. Anyway, enough about that. I think we're expecting 33 passengers on this next flight. We haven't gotten our paperwork yet, so I honestly don't know. But the caterers did come and re-cater us. The cleaners have just gotten off. They were lovely ladies. I am missing just one headrest cover on this seat though, so I need to quickly go get that and replace it. And then I will be good to go. It said I could pick what meal I want and they'll take the rest. And you know, typical, we've got beef, we've got veg, and we've got chicken. So I don't know, I feel like I should take the veg today. I'm in the mood for veg, and then I'll give them beef or chicken. Bye, plane. Oh, she looks so pretty right now.
Who's that?
The plane. We landed exactly on time at 6 p.m. and we had taken off exactly on time. It was just hilarious that we like got it done that quickly. But yeah, no, my pilots today were just such a dream team. Such a dream team. Like that captain, I'm sure I have flown with that captain like 5 years ago or something when he was still a first officer. And now he's like he's not the chief pilot, but he's one of the top captains or whatever. And he's just such a lovely guy. He's such a lovely guy. Like, we chatted for like 3 or 4 hours last night when we were having our braai, and he's just the loveliest person. Honestly, he's also hilarious. He's actually very quietly hilarious. But yeah, my first officer, myself, and our captain were just having the time of our lives. Yeah, today was a lot of fun. I forgot to mention yesterday that we had 2 passengers that were on the wrong flight. They got on my flight by accident, or I don't know, maybe the ground staff didn't really realize. We were all going to the same destination. It's just that our flight number ended with a 7, but the first 3 numbers were the same. So if it's like 3221 and 3227, so our flight number would have been 3227 and they were meant to be on 3221, but we were all going from Victoria Falls to Johannesburg. So I can understand kind of the problem. So not only did I see that like the flight number was different, but also their seat numbers said something like 7 Fox and 7 Delta or something like that, and I was like, we don't even have those seat numbers on our plane. So this is definitely an issue. Got the ground staff and they had to escort them to the other aircraft. That was like 3 aircraft down, and they were departing 10 minutes after us. So at least it all worked out. And they weren't like crazy delayed or anything like that, but yeah, they were lovely people. I did have a gentleman yesterday on my flight, on that same Victoria Falls to Joburg flight, who was a little unhappy. What does Stephen Pereira say? He says a fly in the ointment. So it was the only fly in the ointment throughout this whole trip and it wasn't even that bad, because he was very pleasant throughout the rest of the flight, but just during takeoff, like when I was securing the cabin after doing the demo, I first make an announcement while, like, as soon as the last passengers boarded, I first make an announcement, and in that announcement I say electronic devices, at least on our planes and our flights, they have to be completely powered off, and this includes removing earphones and headphones from your ears as well until we're in the air. And this gentleman had his earphones in and he was watching something on his phone, and I asked him while I was securing to please just remove his earphones, and I asked very nicely, and he was like, but I can hear you perfectly well with my earphones in my ears. You guys really need to update this. Like, it's ridiculous. He just chose to be really unhappy about that one rule, and I was like, well, unfortunately I have to enforce the rules, and it's not my job to create the rules or change the rules based off of somebody's preference. It's my job that if I see a passenger watching a video on their phone during a time that I'm securing, I have to follow my SOPs, and I have to ask them to remove their headphones and, you know, switch their phone off, because that's the rules and I have to enforce that rule. So yeah, he was a little bit annoyed with that, but the lady behind him was like, don't mind him, he's a bit of a grump. Those are her words, not mine. But I think she must have spoken to him because they were this large group, this tour group from the States and Australia, and they were all traveling together. So I think she probably knew him and she just chatted to him or something, because as soon as we took off and I was busy with service, he was like very, very pleasant, very nice, gave me a very high compliment on his way out. So I think it was just like maybe he just wasn't in the mood in that moment. I don't know, but it's really important not to take every single negative comment from a passenger personally. That's basically the point I was trying to make here. I've been talking for so long, but I've got another story to tell you quickly before I end this vlog. I had a pair of passengers on the second flight today. Where are you guys from? Because their accent, I couldn't quite place it because it was like really loud when we were flying. I think my pilots were just flying extra fast today. So I was like, wait, where are you from? And because I couldn't remember seeing their passports when they boarded or anything like that. And they were like, oh, we're from Ireland. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I can't remember the last time I met someone from Ireland or last time I had Irish passengers on my flight. So that's really cool. And then the gentleman says, are you a rugby fan? Like, do you take rugby seriously? And then it clicked. I was like, oh, because South Africa is playing Ireland tonight in rugby. I will definitely be thinking of you when we win. And he was like, no, we're going to beat you guys. We're going to do a really great job. And I was like, if you say so. And then my first officer, when he was making the descent announcement, he was like, yeah, we're going to try to make sure we get you guys home in time for tonight's rugby match where the Springboks are definitely going to win. And then the Irish passengers just looked at me and I was like, it was just overall such a good day. Guys, I love my job so much. I love my job so much, especially after a trip like this with just the best crew, the best passengers. Our flights were really good. Like, I was a little challenged yesterday, but overall they were so good, and it's really the crew that makes or breaks your trip. My feet are killing me. I did leg day the day before this trip and I could barely walk up the stairs this morning, but you know what, it is still such a good day. It was such a good trip, and gosh, I just love what I do. I love being a flight attendant. Oh man. Yeah, let me shut up now and say goodbye to you guys. Thank you so much for coming along with me and spending the last couple of days with me. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, this phone vlog. I tried to capture as much as I could, obviously within reason and within what I'm allowed to share, obviously. But thanks, guys. Please have a fantastic day. Please continue spreading good vibes and being kind. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Bye.
You give me a sign, give me a sign, oh, give me a sign, baby, give me a sign, just give me one more.